Pleased to be joined here in the booth. This is Joe Braun, everybody's new best friend here. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Good,
Great to have you up here.
Bill, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We've been trying to get Joe up here for a long time, probably, I don't know, the last 4 years, since '07 anyway.
Right.
He's always been very hesitant about coming to the booth, but we finally convinced him after Ryan signed the big contract. We wanted to have Joe here in the booth, and he's a great baseball man, and we'll be able to talk a little baseball, talk about Ryan, and as we weave through this game. But it's great to have you here, and I know you enjoy coming to Miller Park every day and watching the batting practice in the games.
I do. I try to get here early, even sometimes get a chance to watch them stretch. So I think I've always had that habit since they were little kids, and I kind of kept it the same way.
Now, your son has been an all-star. I mean, he's done a lot in a very short amount of time. Do you get nervous still when he's up there at the plate? Yeah,
I do. I'm probably a little more relaxed now over the last few years, now getting a little more comfortable with everything, and I guess trying to keep the same confidence level he has in his abilities. So,
you know, one thing about Ryan, and I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, he was on our Brewers Live pregame show, and I asked him, you sign a contract like this. You and I talked about this yesterday too, but this is a major contract. I mean, this is an historic contract for the Brewers as Markham picks up his second strikeout. But it goes a decade. There's a lot of money involved. And what is the motivation at this point? Where is the currency for Ryan to keep wanting to get better and better? And he had such a quick answer, and it's exactly what you said, that you'll never have to question his motivation. My question to you is, where does that come from?
I think he was born with it. I really do. I think he's always been a very, very confident, young man as a kid growing up, and but it also was applied not only in a game of baseball, but off the field, in the classroom. All of his goals were always set extremely high, and he's always had that work ethic and a desire and drive to be successful. So, I think that's what's going to keep him going, and he feels he's got a long ways to go and become a better player and become a better teammate. So.
At what point did you know, when he was a young kid, that this was something special? He was a pretty good baseball player.
I think when he got into high school, I think that's really when I started to see that he had that potential to play at another level, speaking of level, maybe college ball, and do quite well. He's always been very athletic. Both my boys have, and I would say high school is where I think he kind of realized at that point that baseball was going to be his career, and when he came in playing soccer as well.
It's Ryan's batting second in the bottom of the fifth inning, so we're going to have Joe stay with us, and we might even let him use Rock's telestrator. We'll see, but we'd like to break down some of the mechanics and get into some of the swing thoughts and the swing mechanics of Ryan. And I know it's a swing. I was watching film of Ryan. We did a feature, and it's pretty much the same swing he's had since high school.
It really has. I know that in the minor leagues, Sandy Guerrero, the hitting coach he worked with at that time, had a slight change in his position of his hands. And that's about all I think he's really changed. And it's not anything drastic, but he seemed to be very comfortable with it. And, as a parent watching your kid all those years with success, making a change, you always kind of have a little nervous about it. But it's obviously worked out well, and it's been great.
And here comes Ryan Braun with one away in the fifth.
I'm proud to be a Milwaukee Brewer. I really am, and I'm proud to say that I'm going to continue to be a Milwaukee Brewer for at least the next 10 years.
Batting third, left fielder, number 8, Ryan Braun.
Well, that was the scene last night, and that had to make you a very proud papa to see the standing ovation after that introduction.
Yeah, definitely did. Pretty emotional for all of us.
Did he talk to you, while during the process? It started in spring training and was finalized yesterday. Did you guys have discussions about the contract?
Yeah, we did. It was really more about Ryan wanting to be here. I think that the financial part of it was going to work out. But I think for him, it was the commitment that he wanted to make to be here, for hopefully his entire career with Milwaukee, and had a lot to do with obviously the organization and Mark and Debbie and the entire organization, coaching staff, and obviously the fans are a huge part of this.
Ryan batting with his dad Joe watching, and that one inside. You can see that Myers trying to stay inside on Ryan. Well, I know Rock just asked you this, but now you can be honest. Do you get nervous when he hits? I mean,
yeah, I do.
Every time?
Not every time.
Because I'm nervous for you right now, and the guy's like been in all-star games and an MVP candidate.
Yeah, you know, I think you always have a little bit of that, you know, to be honest. But
sure.
I think that's natural.
I sat with Bill Schroeder. His son played college baseball at Grand Canyon, and I couldn't even sit next to him. He was a mess. He was an absolute wreck the entire game.
You want to do so well for him, and you know, you can't help him, but he doesn't need, your son doesn't need much help, does he?
Well, you know, I mean, sure, at times there are a little bit, but I could see as a parent, especially with you, Bill, being a player, you know, the feelings that you're aware of what's going on. It makes it even tougher. So.
Now, when you see Ryan up there, is that pretty much the way he stood up at the plate when he was in high school and college?
You know, I would say if anything, he's brought his hands in a little bit closer to his body. I'd probably say that's really the only change. Pretty much the same. It really is.
Now, the amazing thing for me about Ryan is his plate coverage. He can cover a pitch 2-3 inches inside, 2-3 inches outside. That's something that's a special talent.
As Myers strikes him out, and the second out of the inning. So Ryan strikes out. Let's go through Ryan's swing here. Joe's going to break it down for us. What do you see here, Joe?
You know, I think his hands are positioned well. You know, I think if anything right now, I would just say his hands are maybe just a little bit further out, away from, I guess you'd say, sort of his shoulder. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I think he's, you know, obviously, you know, baseball is a tough game, and to be a 300 hitter, you know, you're going to fail 7 out of 10 times. But, you know, I'm sure he's back there watching his swing right now and looking to see if he feels there's anything that needs to make any adjustments on. So.
It's not often that a hitter, especially a young kid, he's going to have the same stance just about every time he goes up there. I remember in my career, I mean, I'm not a good example, but I had a different stance, not only every at bat almost, but every pitch, just trying to feel comfortable.